Welcome! Today we are going to explore how to measure the area of irregular shapes. For a rectangle, it is easy. Area equals length times breadth. But what about a shape that has no straight edges at all? For that, we need a totally different approach. Irregular shapes are everywhere around us. A country's border on a map, a lake or a river, the outline of your hand, a leaf from a tree, a city's boundary on a satellite image. All of these are irregular shapes, and all of them need a clever method to measure their area. The method we use is called the grid method. Here is how it works. Draw the irregular shape. In our example, think of it as a lake. Step 1. Lay a grid of equal unit squares over the entire shape. Every square in the grid is exactly 1 unit wide and 1 unit tall, so each square has an area of 1 unit squared. Step 2. Now look at the squares carefully. Some squares are completely outside the lake. These are the clear, empty squares. We simply ignore them. Step 3. Some squares are completely inside the lake. We color these teal. Each teal square counts as exactly 1 full unit squared. The squares that sit right on the border are the tricky ones. They are partly inside and partly outside. We color these yellow. Since they are roughly half covered, we count each yellow square as half a unit squared. Now we count. We found 17 teal squares fully inside and 24 yellow squares on the border. Using the formula, area is approximately equal to the number of full squares plus half the number of border squares. That gives us 17 plus 24 divided by 2, which equals 29 units squared. That is our approximation for the area of this lake. Now, here is an important question. How accurate is this? The answer depends on the size of the squares we use. Large squares give a rough estimate. Medium squares give a better estimate. Small squares give a more accurate estimate. As the squares get smaller and smaller, the estimated area gets closer and closer to the true area. Taken to the absolute limit, using infinitely many infinitely small squares, that is exactly the idea behind integration in calculus. We will explore that in a future video, so stay tuned. Quick reference. Draw the shape, lay the grid, ignore outside squares, count inside squares times 1, count border squares times 1/2. Area equals full squares plus half the border squares. See you next time.